How has it been similar to what you thought?
How has it been similar? I don't think it's been similar at all. I mean, like, I went into it with a lot of expectations, and I don't know, my expectations were kind of like I didn't know what was going to happen. I watched a lot of videos, so I seen how people did their living. So I just assumed that's how it was going to be. But I don't know, experiencing it is completely different from watching it on TV. It's not what I expected, but it's not bad. I'm all gung ho for it. I don't know. I'm still excited for it. I'm still excited for it, but it's difficult. There's challenges that come with it. I studied up on the challenges, but actually going through them is another thing. And even my phone, I have to be conscious because if I leave my phone plugged in, even though it hits 100%, your phone is still pulling energy. When I go to prepare my breakfast, I have dry goods and I have refrigerated, like wet food. I have to make sure that I pull everything out of the dry goods thing. Otherwise, if I put it all back to get to my refrigerator, now it's a pain in the butt because I have to go back into the dry goods and get out stuff that I forgot. It's just really, you do have to be very mindful of not just your energy use, but just your actions. I move very quickly. Everything I do it super fast, super fast. I have to slow my roll, really think and be like, okay, do I have everything? You have to be very mindful. And also just a matter of, is my ground level? That's not, sleeping on a level ground is another thing that I think I took it for granted. Not level is not comfortable, and you will wake up throughout the course of the night. Be mindful of everything that you didn't even think you would have to be mindful about. So I was in an apartment looking around, preparing to move into a car, and I said, I'm going to take this, and 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 this is going to be good, and I'm going to use this, I'm going to use this. And I put it all into this little tiny area in the apartment, and I, pretended to live in my car. And I thought I was going to need all this stuff. I thought I was going to use all this stuff. The more stuff I just have to move around. I'm really looking at what I'm actually using. So I haven't actually cooked in my car. I just said, okay, I have space for that to store it. So I stored it rather than have it with me in the cabin of the car. This here, well, you can't really see it right now, but on the back of my chair, I have something hanging and it has a lot of stuff on it. The only thing that I really use regularly are these Clorox disinfecting wipes. These are fantastic. That's all I really use regularly out of that. This is filled with white vinegar and water, and I will spray my dishes with this and wipe it, and that cleans it really well. Or I'll just literally bring it inside wherever I am. Luckily, my job has a kitchen with a sink. I have that capability. Going back to energy use, I'm really getting to know what's a need and what's a want. And then the wants that you have, are they worth it? When I've planned all of this out, I'm like addicted to my coffee, addicted to my Keurig. So, and I do use it every morning. I use my Keurig. I make 1 cup every morning, but it pulls like 1500 watts of energy out of my Jackery. And I am very aware of that as I watch it surge up and take 2% of my battery. For me, coffee is worth it. Coffee is worth 2% of my battery. And my video game, The Sims, that pulls a lot of energy. It makes my computer very hot. It makes the cabin of my car very hot. And not only that, but it's using up a lot of my energy. And it's like, is it worth it for me to open up The Sims and play The Sims when I can't really immerse myself that deeply, and it's going to use up a lot of my power anyway. My air conditioner wasn't working at full capacity. It was very low on Freon. So it did have some cool air coming out of it. It wasn't cooling off the car the way it should have. This is Mint House. This is a little tiny fan that I love, love, love. Without that, I would have died. So that was difficult. That was very difficult. But luckily, it seems to have broken. The heat wave seems to have broken the day that I get my air conditioning fixed. And that's fine. That's totally fine because the summer is not over. So the first week, I've been sleeping in multiple different places. I'm sleeping at work. I also have one of my coworkers allowed me a couple of nights to sleep in his driveway. I'm eating out a lot. That's something that I thought I would be preparing more food at home, but I am not. So the fraudulent part is like I am tethered to this area. I have a day job. But I don't know. I see people who do that too. So I guess maybe I feel like a fraud because it's not that hard. I feel like I'm not struggling. I'm enjoying it. I like my little space. I like having I like leaving my job, like opening the door and being like, I'm home. I don't
Mm.
even have to get to my car and it's like the world is my living room. So I'm happy. I really like that. I do have to figure out what to do with my free time. Right now, I'm hypersensitive of everything. I think that's why no, I think I'm just feeling right now more than trying to express. One of the things my mom always says for anything and everything at all is like 6 weeks boot camp. If you get a new pet, it's 6 weeks boot camp. If you start a new job, 6 weeks boot camp. I moved into my car. I'm still within the 6 weeks boot camp. It's like I'm still learning everything.
What
Drinking a lot more water, which is
is
very good for me. It's okay right now for me to be in the park, just sitting in the car, feeling my car, filling my space up with myself, filling the space with my energy, and writing in my journal. This is okay, but because I'm still very new and I'm still acclimating myself to the car living. But I have to get out of the car. I have to look at places to volunteer my time. I have to my intention is to go to assisted living places nearby and leave my phone number if somebody needs grocery shopping. If I could just like offer myself as a helper, because that's what I really enjoy doing, is helping people. So I have to get out of the car. I can't just go to a park and sit in my car and play fucking video games just like I did with my apartment. Just go to my apartment and play video games. Like I don't want to do that. I think right now it's okay for right now because it's still brand new and I'm still feeling everything out, but I have to get out of the car. I want to walk through wood. My love is like what I would really love to do is like go to Harriman and hike with friends. I am looking for community. I'm not going to find community though sleeping in my mother's fucking driveway. I got to get out of that's why I feel like a fraud. Like what the hell? Should I go uh sleep in Walmart just to find other people? You don't need all that shit around you. You don't need it. You don't need it. It's not there for your survival. It's not necessary. It's actually causing you more stress in your life. And you just don't need it. You don't need it. You could survive with a lot less than you think.
do we own things or do things own us?
Exactly. That's such a great question. Like I said, I thought I was being helpful for myself and grabbing a whole bunch of stuff. And all of that stuff did was it really just it annoyed me because I had to move it around. It's like I'm not using it. It's just like it's in my way now. At that point, it's like, okay, what's necessary and what's not. And like you don't need it. We don't need it. We don't need our stuff. All that stuff is not a necessity. It's really not. It's really not. And in order to move things, I have to be like situated in just such a way so that I have spot on either left and right of me to put the stuff. And you just have to be, like you said, aware and just have to be mindful.